Hello everyone. Today we have a Dr. Utpal Sharma. He is the director of the Institute of Architecture, Nirma University. He having total academic 32 years of experience. So let's discuss about thoughts of interviews. Beginning with the interviews, my first question is: when you first came to the Institute of Architecture, Nirma University, what was your vision for the university? How it evolved over time, and how far along in implementing that vision are you?
I joined Nirma University in 2014. Before that, I was the director of School of Planning at CEPT University, where I taught for around 25. And Nirma provided me an opportunity to start a new program. Because in CEPT it was already well established, and I was just running the program, established by Professor Joshi and lot of others. Though we improved it. So here it was an opportunity to start a totally new program. At the invitation of management of Nirma University, I came and started this program. So we hired the people. I had a chance to make the entire curriculum the way I want. So I took advice from many practicing professionals and professors from all over India and abroad, and we made this new program. Advantage at Nirma was that Nirma management was totally supportive, and because it's a totally new program, so there's nobody to tell you teach this way or the other way around. I could mold it the way we want. So, and idea is that Nirma is already being a kind of a renowned university on all the other fields, and it is a kind of a professional management approach. So, and everything was systematic. So, at a very short span of time, it picked up very well. We started with only 40 students initial year, but in the first year itself, we got a phenomenal response. And in the next year, we made it our intake to be 80, and this is now one of the most sought after architecture programs in Gujarat.
Okay. Great, sir. So my second question is: being the director of Institute of Architecture, Nirma University, what is your philosophy of leadership, and how would you describe your leadership style?
Now, my philosophy of leadership is we want basically learning by doing, because this is the professional course, where we have to teach students, or rather they learn by themselves, and it is not more to do with the learning the skill, because what you think it should get realized on the ground. If you make a drawing of a horse and it begins to look like a donkey, then it is no good. So you have to develop the skill at the initial years, and slowly it becomes a little more complex, where your thinking process, where you can learn from various other architects and you can do complex things. So that is from a small thing, we are training some people to be a very qualified professional. Okay. But the skill building at initial years is very important. And that's what we are trying to do. Even all the faculty that we have heard, they are, fortunately many of them have been my students earlier, or I know that institute. So, and it was we have a very good team, It's not about senior or junior. The team is working very well, because it is a team building. It is not individual buildings. So my team, all the members may not be the best in the country today, but they work as a team and in proper guidance. And that's what has clicked.
Yeah, that's great thoughts for the leadership, sir. Now, the third question is: you have held key position at the Education Institute throughout your professional career. What are the key factors that kept you connect with the education sector?
Now, before I joined teaching, I was working with Professor Balkrishnan Joshi. He was my teacher, and he gave me a job when I was a student. So, and that was a kind of a professional office where working in the office and teaching, you were synchronized, because some moment you were in the college and other half of the day, then you come back and work in the professional office. and the gap between the practice and teaching was reduced. And I learned at an early stage that because our profession is much more learning by doing, so you have to be linked with the practice. If you are not practicing, you cannot be a good teacher of architecture. So I learned from my teachers and early teachers that we'll have to really learn by doing. So we started actually doing a lot of research and consultancy through the organization. When I joined SEP, we didn't have much consultancy work, but when I think over a period of 25 years, now it got built up, with many of my colleagues, and now we are doing projects and work all over India, and that has brought name to the institution because your presence, and we are working on live projects. Whatever I was designing, just say city of Hyderabad, we said, okay, let's do that as a studio project. And students were learning by actually working on live projects because the client and everybody is interested because we are doing something very positive. And I feel that learning by doing and actually link with the practice, and if you can bring the learning from the practice to the classroom, that is the best project. Because we don't have a million books in the library, but we are working on a ground situation which is live. And that is our category.
That's true, sir. So next question is, what are the USP of Institute of Architecture Nirma University, and what are the advantage student can have after completing their studies from the Institute of Architecture Nirma University?
Now the Nirma Institute of Architecture Planning is slightly different from the earlier organization that I worked with. Here it is a large university and there are many disciplines. Pharmacy, law, management, engineering, etc. So I'll have to then deal with that. It's a multidisciplinary approach and everybody not talking about architecture or planning. But we can do many things together. I have learned a lot from the various approaches adopted by various other faculty. Where in earlier job, we are all of the same kind.
Okay.
So, and that opens up the horizon as the kind of thing that one can do. And Nirma is a very disciplined and orderly institute. Sometimes it is too much orderly and students find it little regressive. But we have been able to create the flexibility within our institute where the Nirma, everybody follow the deadline and time here, people work at night also. And slowly the flexibility has come, and Nirma also has realized that architecture has added a new value to the university in bringing the flexibility to the university. Have openly admitted. Earlier it was much more rigid. Now because of multidisciplinary approach and the attitude of the university, I think our students are doing very good. Parents are also liking it because it is discipline and order, and anything doesn't happen just like that. And because of the name and reputation of the university, our students are, though we are only 8-year-old, but our students are now studying in all the top universities all over the world, including Harvard, MIT. They all got admission all over the world, and that will happen very soon. Okay, and we want to keep it up.
Okay. So, sir, my last question is, any suggestion you would like to give the current youth and the aspiring students?
Now, what we have to realize that India is one of the fastest growing countries in the world. In spite of all the problem of COVID and politics and whatever, it is the fastest growing. When the country is growing fast, then that is the time for architecture. Because all the economy grown finally becomes a building, finally becomes a road, finally becomes a pipeline. Okay, so we need qualified people in that area to translate the growth into a physical form. So it happens in every country, when the country is growing, say a period of 40 to 50 years, where everything is built, and built and developed and whatever, rightly or wrongly. We need highly qualified people for development of India, particularly in the field of architecture and planning. It has happened in America 100 years before. They did it, and now they don't have to do much. Everything is all set, and now they cannot even change it. In our situation, this is happening now. And we are one of the fastest growing. This is a great time for architecture and planning profession because so much of work. My friends in Europe and America, they don't have much work. They are looking for, oh, can you do a practice in India? Can I do a project in India? Okay. And here this is lying all around. And many times we are doing a kind of poor quality of work. But we have to do really professionally good job. And opportunity is there. We are a big country. We don't have to do a very always a small project. We can do large scale airport, we can do large project, industrial houses, because India and China are two biggest country in the world, and the scale of project and opportunities are phenomenal.
Yeah. Okay, it was good suggestion, sir. So I would like to conclude the interview. Thank you for the informative information, sir. Thank you so much.